I am here to do my question and answer video for you guys today. Here's my Q&A. You guys had some questions for me, so here are my answers. So let's get to it. I'll start off with some combo questions. These are questions that several people have asked me. So the first question comes from Miami Smart Girl and Melissa from the Metalhead Bookworm. What book are you really excited for next year, 2011? And to come to mind, Steel, which is, I believe, a throwback in time with pirates. So that sounds really awesome. And Angel Fire, and that is a more fantasy reincarnation, I believe, kind of book. So I'm really looking forward to those. There seems to be a lot of new fantasy coming out next year. So I'm really looking forward to that. The next question comes from Miami Smart Girl again and Book Geek Music Freak. They both ask, what is your favorite book so far in 2010? And I have 3 of them. They're all readables in my opinion, and they came out this year. First one is Heist Society by Ali Carter. This is a really good con action adventure book, and I really liked it. Definitely check out my review if you haven't already. The next book is Cassandra Clare's Clockwork Angel. This one was really good. One of my favorites, and the story was great. The characters were awesome, and overall just a really good book. So definitely check that out. I have a video review on this as well if you haven't seen it yet. The next book I have doesn't fall under the YA genre, but it is fantasy, and I really liked it. If you're looking for something with great character backstory and great character development, I highly recommend Angelology by Danielle Trussoni. It's a really good book. The ending was pretty crazy, kind of left you at a cliffhanger and kind of abruptly and quick, which I didn't like too much. Majority of the book, beginning and a good meat in the middle, was a great story. Yeah, so if there is a second one coming out, I'll probably check that out because it definitely sets up for one. Those are the 3 books I really enjoyed during 2010. Obviously, there are much more coming out still this year, but those are the books so far. Next question comes from the Metalhead Bookworm and OCD of Books. What is your favorite genre to read? I like dystopian sci-fi. Futuristic element, it's the kind of alternate universes kind of thing going on. Next question comes from DM Friend 25 Dylan and Karen from OCD of Books. What do you do for fun besides reading? And I love drawing, doodling, playing the guitar, of course, and watching movies. I love going to the theater alone. I'm kind of an introverted person that way. I love going to the movie theaters on my own, getting a good cup of frozen yogurt and chilling out and being entertained. Okay, now are the individual questions that you guys have asked. So let's start with Miami Smart Girl. She asked, what are you looking at when you film? I see you never look at the camera, so I'm wondering what you are looking at. Okay. So what I'm looking at, I'm usually looking towards this way, and it's to the far right of my room, and more specifically, it is my digital clock. Usually I look towards that way or just speak towards the wall, is because I can't think when I'm looking at myself. I don't know, I just get weirded out and get distracted and I forget what I wanted to say, so I kind of look towards the other way so I know I'm thinking and processing what I'm going to say. Next question is, what is your favorite books of all time? It would have to be The Book Thief. It is an awesome book. If you haven't checked that out yet, I definitely recommend it. It's definitely a different read, not your usual YA novel, but it's very good. Next one is The Maze Runner, and I believe this is a really underrated book. I think it deserves more attention. The Maze Runner is an awesome read. It's a great action, suspense, sci-fi, dystopian kind of novel. So if you haven't checked that out, I definitely recommend it. One more, the Ugly series, Ugly's Pretty Specials and Extras. The Ugly series was one of the next series I got after Twilight. It was actually the first set of books that I liked all the way through, like all of the books. And that is rare, I think, anyways. What is the next book you are going to read is the next question. And right now I'm reading The Devouring by Simon Holt. And so the next one after that will probably be The Monstrumologist by Rick Yancey. So far, so good with The Devouring. Really good. My next set of questions come from Claudia from Mrs. Book Lover. Thanks for your questions, Claudia. First question is, can you do a bookshelf tour? And I will certainly do a bookshelf tour. I'm planning to do one next week for sure, so definitely be on the lookout for that. I don't have much of a wide book collection, but I have other things on my shelves you guys can check out, so we'll be looking through that. Her next question is, do you prefer sci-fi or fantasy? And I did say earlier that sci-fi is one of my favorite genres, and I still have to go with sci-fi. It is because of the Ugly series and dystopian novels. I really enjoy them. Fantasy is great too. You'll also have to know I have not read the Harry Potter series, so that might change once I read that. Her last question is, what nationality are you? I am Filipino. My mom and dad came from the Philippines and came to Canada, and they had me. And so I'm first generation Filipino-Canadian, Canadian-Filipino, however you want to word that. But yeah. Oh yeah. So when we do this, it's not gang signs, it's peace. Peace. So my next questions come from Dylan from DM Friend 25. His first question is, who are your favorite authors? And that would have to be Scott Westerfeld and Cassandra Clare. Scott Westerfeld, who wrote the Ugly series. I will probably plug Uglies and Scott Westerfeld and probably most of these book questions. Anyways, I say those two in particular because those are the first two authors I got another series of. Next question is, do you write? And I do not write. I am not a writer. I daydream a lot and come up with a lot of fan fiction in my head and think up of really weird, cool ideas, I think, but I don't write them down. I just daydream a lot.